Hey YouTube, Raphael here today, and for this video I'm going to be showing you how to do some basic scripting. So for this video I'm going to be relying mostly on Bash for this. So there are many types of shells for Linux, and it is including the corn shell, the Z shell, the C shell, and it's not limited to that, but all of these are available on nearly all Linux distributions as well. So what we're going to be doing though, however, for this particular video is we're going to be relying solely on the Bash shell for this. Alright, so let's get started. So to create a shell script, we're going to be using a text editor. So you can use absolutely any text editor you want to. So what I want to do here is I want to use a text editor called Nano. And Nano is a built-in text editor for Linux Mint. A lot of you may be using Ubuntu or other Linux distributions, but it should be built in as well there, and especially on Kali and Backtrack. So before you do any of this, you want to open up a terminal. So to open up a terminal, just go over here and type in terminal, and you should get this over here. Now we should get this little window, and you want to go to root before doing anything, and to do that just go sudo su, because we want root permissions to run most of the commands. Now I obviously don't need another terminal because I already have my own terminal here. But if you haven't already, make sure a terminal is opened and you have root privileges before continuing. Okay, so we are going to generate two files. Touch script1. So this is the first file that we're going to generate, script1, and then we're going to be generating a second file, which is script result. Now what this is going to be doing is this script result over here. Let me do ls again to list every file in this folder. And as you see over here, we have created two files successfully. As you see, they are showing in our folder called our scripts. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be manipulating this script result by we're going to be like scripting in script1, and then whatever we type in script1, we're going to be affecting our second file called script result with echo, and then we're going to be using variables and the values in the variables to edit those texts as well. So we're going to be using Nano. As I said before, this is the text editor that we're going to be using, and then type in script1. So if you look at the very top over here, it says file : script1. Now that is saying that Nano is telling you that we are now editing a file called script1, and anything we type in here, so anything we can type in this whole blank area, we are now affecting that file. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a shebang, and what the shebang is simply also called the sharp hashtag and an exclamation mark. And then we're going to be following the shebang with a line called /bin/bash. So this is pretty much saying that we want our operating system to use the bash shell interpreter. And then what we want to do is we want to use a command called echo. So this is pretty much a command in Linux that tells the system to simply repeat or echo back to our monitor what follows. So in this case, we want this system to echo back to us enter your first word. So we make sure this is a string. Make sure it is in between the two speech marks before continuing. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is using a variable. So this will be reading values in our variables and then outputting the value later on. So we're going to be adding in a prompt. So let's do read, and then we can call our variable name first letter, and then we want to echo again, and after it has finished reading our first word, as you can see here, we want it to read the second one. It's going to be enter your number in. and we want it to read second letter. And then lastly, we want to echo our third string. It's going to be enter your last word. And then we want to read third letter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing again the echo command, and then now let me demonstrate to you. So let me clear the screen up, and we want to go root again because we had made these two files while we were root. So we're doing it as a normal user. We won't have permission to do that because it was made with root, and only root privileges, people with root privileges can see the file or read the file right now. As of right now, of course, you can change that with chmod. You can change that, change the permissions and everything. But I'm gonna be using root because it's much easier. Okay, so now if we were to do let's see, if you were to do cat script result, as you see, nothing is going to output yet because we haven't manipulated the second file yet because we haven't run the first script. And now, whatever we want the value stored in our variable, we can preface the variable name with a $sign, such as, let's say, first letter. So we can preface that whatever value is stored in the variable. And what we want to do now is echo first letter, and we want to separate each variable, and then simply repeat that for second letter and then third letter. And then we want, now as I said before, we are trying to manipulate our file called script result. So what we want to do is we're going to add in a greater than sign, and then that will be script result. So now it's gonna output everything that we had entered over here will be outputted in script result because we had commanded it to. So now let's simply run our script. So Control X, and so in Nano, if you want to save a file, in your keyboard, press Control X. So it will be asking you to save, and then press Y on your keyboard again, and it will say file name to write script 1. Make sure it is typed in correctly, or else it will not work. So click enter. You can make sure it really is saved by doing nanoscript 1. And as you see here, everything that we had typed in previously is still here. So that means it's been saved successfully. Now what we want to do now is we want to make this file executable. So let's simply do chmod 755, and what we want to do is make script 1 executable. So do script 1, the file name. So we can now verify that we have given it execute permissions by doing ls-al. Now if you were to look at script 1, which is our file over here, we now have rwx. Now the R stands for read, the W stands for write, and the X stands for execute. Now the fact that there is an X here means we now have execute permissions. So now we can really run our script by doing /script1. And as you see here, we have enter your first word. So let's see, we can enter my first word. Again, you can obviously enter whatever you want to. I'm just gonna enter my first word. Now we have made our string that will say enter your number in. So we're gonna enter, let's see, I'm gonna enter the number 9. Enter your last word. This will say final. So before I enter again, I'm just gonna show you that if we were to do cat script result, nothing happens because we haven't outputted anything yet. But if you were to enter that in and then do the same command, we now have my first word, we have the 9 that enter our number in, and then we have our final word, which is the final. So and that is because of this line over here, we have we commanded it to output it this whole thing we have commanded to output in the file script result. So we have manipulated the file. So yeah, congratulations, you have just made your very first script. So keep coming back for more videos. I'll be showing you more advanced scripting later on, but this is just basic bash scripting, and play around with it a lot. It will get you used to this new environment. If you are new to using the command line, I suggest you use it, because if you're aspiring to become a professional hacker, you will need to learn how to navigate in the terminal proficiently, because most Linux hacking tools, they are solely run in the command line. So anyway, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later on. Stay tuned.